Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Swan and welcome Judy from Judy's Healing Fire. I met Judy through Marina,
Hello. Yes.
who had found her, I don't know how, and invited her to come on the Golden Girls with us, and it just clicked. I was like, oh, I like her a lot. We're going to let her be a regular, and then Judy contacted me and said, well, what you doing every other Thursday night when we're not doing Golden Girls? I'm like, usually nothing. So we figured we'd take advantage of it. Let's do some more readings. So anyway, Judy,
Yeah.
for those who maybe have not seen you yet, there may be a few out there. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, how long you've been doing it, blah, 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 and all that good stuff. Go.
All the blah, blah, blah stuff. Hello, everybody. Well, Judy with Judy's Healing Fire. I was honestly pushed into doing YouTube with my guides. I had no intention of doing it, and they kept slapping me upside the head until finally I'm like, fine, I'll do it. So I actually, the channel's fairly new, but I've been doing energy work for several years now. So I'm a Reiki master. I do crystal grid readings, which I don't really know anybody else who does it quite like I do. Actually, it's a unique.
I know Miss
Quirky
Nancy
thing
Jean
that I
does
do.
crystal grids. Yeah, I know Nancy Jean does crystal grids, but I don't understand them, so I don't know how she does it. So, anyway, go ahead. I interrupted. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to learn how she does it. I'm still learning. I don't know the way that I do it. I started doing this when I had with my Reiki practice. Before patients would come into the office, I kind of tuned into their energy, and then I was just intuitively guided to put crystals around a grid, and then I'd kind of step back. I'd step out to connect intuitively, and then I'd step back in, and then I could read that, and then basically it told me where I felt like you needed healing before you even walked in the room, and it was always right. And so cool. Now what I do when I do readings is I'll do that. I'll step out and tune into your energy, and I can see where you have blocks, but then I step back again, and then I'm intuitively guided. What's interesting is sometimes where like my human brain wants me to put a crystal somewhere, and then my intuition says, no, I want this one here. And then when I'm all done, I step out again, and then I read it, and it's like, oh, okay, that tells me a little more about you. And then I'll get intuitive hits and things like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't get nothing fancy like that.
Has this been going on? Has there been abuse on? Has there been this going on? Things like that.
I get movie scenes in
my so anyway, I got readings. I do a lot of politics.
Yeah. It says I get movie scenes,
voices. I'll see pictures. TV scenes.
Yeah. I get a lot of like the superhero movies.
Get words or phrases.
Yeah. But I'll get, scenes from the Avengers or scenes from Superman.
What's interesting?
And that's what it'll play in my brain. And I'm like, oh, that's the message you want me to give. Okay, I got it. It took a while for me to maybe like the beginning, I'd be like, why are you showing me that? What does that got to do with anything? Invariably, it meant a lot to whoever I was reading it. They're like, oh, I know exactly what scene you're talking about, or or oh, that's my favorite movie, or so I've learned to go with it.
Yeah. They always have a reason. Yeah. That's interesting because I just back from camping, and I like to do nature card reads when I'm out camping, and then I'll upload them. And one of them I was reading on, what's it going to take for us to basically care about the earth and that kind of thing. And one of the cards was King of Cups, but what kept coming into my mind was Aquaman. and then I'm like, well, that's weird. And I'm like, well, why is Aquaman coming in? And then they were like, well, the ocean is going to start to tell us, what's that we need to make it a priority, basically. So things like that will happen. I'll get words,
that's
or
where
I'll get
Aquaman
phrases.
would come in and fit.
Sitting Bull has started coming to me, which is weird because I
find
never
that
even
fascinating. I find that fascinating that Sitting Bull comes to you. It's like, that's so cool, because I'm part Cherokee. So it's like, how come none of them come to me? But they actually do. My guides are Native Americans. So,
and it was so random. It was so random. Like one day he just like came to me, and I'm like, who is this? And finally I'm like, is this Sitting Bull? And he said, yep. But he'll give me, when he goes to communicate with me, he gives me Native American references. And so then I figure out, how is it relevant to today? And it's interesting. Right. It's
Okay. The first time I tried to channel, I was with another reader, and she was pushing me. You can do it. Just try. And George Washington came through, and I was like, what the hell? Why am I talking to George Washington of all people? And that's who I wanted the very first time I channeled. That's who I talked to, was George Washington. I was like, okay, this is just wild, and didn't quite know what to think about that. And the next time was Jesus.
That would be amazing. Of times,
and that is just so overwhelming and just so full of love, and that it's almost, it takes your breath away almost. And then probably one of the strongest ones I got about a year or so later was John Lennon came through.
Yeah.
And that was just wicked wild, because I've always been a huge fan of John Lennon and his music. And so that was like, whoa, he kind of knocked my socks off. It was like, oh my God, he's talking to me, that kind of thing. I was like fangirling on him. He's like, chill out, pay attention to what I'm saying here. Yeah, it's like, I'm dead. Don't worry about it. Keep going, So I was like, oh, okay, give me a minute. I'll get my breath back in a minute. And so that's been some of the big ones that have come to me. And then I'll get people's relatives and stuff. A lot of times, if I'm trying to do a mediumship reading, my mother will show up to like bring in the person that I need to hear from. It's like my mother is playing mediary between me and the other side. And because the first couple of times I tried it, and then my mom would show her, and I'd be like, why is my mother here? I mean, I'm happy to see her, to be here, but it was like, what's the deal? And it took me a couple of times to realize she's like bridging the gap and bringing the right person to me. Like, okay, here, look, this is my daughter. You can talk to her. And she'll be able to tell them what you want them to know. And so that was just kind of really cool. I was like, that's kind of nice. So I got my mom in there, like working the phones, between me and the other side. And exactly. She was very psychic herself. So she would get visions.
Oh, was she?
Yeah. She would see people's death.
Really?
If somebody had like a dramatic death that was going to happen, she would get a vision and see it. And it freaked her out, and she hated it. And she rarely ever talked about it because it freaked her out so bad, which, yeah, I could see why. I found out that was her ability because I was eavesdropping on a conversation between her and her sister, and she was freaking out because she had this vision, and then the next day it happened. And the two gentlemen that it happened to, she knew them, and she was just flipping out. And my aunt was telling her, well, now that's what happens, and you just got to go with it. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm not as weird as I thought I was. And nearly all the women have it. Yeah, it's like all the women in our family have some form of the gift. And so go figure. But anyway, so we're here. We're going to do some political readings for y'all. Before we get going, I wanted to put this up. Election Truth Alliance. They are a nonprofit 401c. I think that is what it is. But they're an organization. They're forensic computer experts. They've been going in, they've been researching, looking at all the data from the 2024 election. They have discovered massive amounts of fraud that occurred, and they've been able to replicate it to show how it was done, which is mind-boggling to me. There's another group, and I don't have their things down. I forgot to put it on the doodad there. What is it? Smart elections smart elections
yeah.
And that's the other one. So y'all check out their websites. They're on YouTube. I know ETA is on YouTube, and they just got their TikTok channel back and is up and running with that. As well as I first found out about them through Christopher Titus podcast. He's a comedian and does a podcast. He's freaking hilarious to me anyway. And I was watching his weekly podcast, and he had the guy on that's kind of like been chosen to be the spokesperson for their group. And I was like, holy mother of God, they've got all this information now. I mean, these people had to walk away from their jobs because their employers were like, you can't stay working for us if you're going to do this, because it could come back on us, which sucks. But as an owner to a business, I could understand why you would have that stance. You got to protect yourself and your other workers. And then there's another group called the Smart Elections .us, and they are the ones that are bringing the lawsuit in Rockland, whatever it is, up in New York. They're the ones that discovered the fraud there. They basically do the same thing that ETA does. And so I have personally met a few forensic computer experts, and let me tell you, these people can pull things out of computer that you never thought would be possible. I mean, you can wipe it and do all kinds of stuff to computer and think everything is gone. They'll find it, and it's
always there.
Yeah, it's always it's there. They will find it. They can go in, and my son used to, when he was still doing IT work, he was working for a little local company here. It was just a husband and a wife. The husband just did like regular computer stuff, building things, installing things, but his wife was a forensic expert. And she was always working with the police department, the FBI, the sheriff's department. They would bring equipment for her to have to go into to get evidence out of. And it was mind-boggling. It was like, wow, I can't believe you're actually able to go in and get that information out. So, and then the only other thing that everybody gets sick of hearing me talk about, but Andrew will be here next weekend, and that's for the Androniki Skincare. That's his website. Check it out. He will be back next Saturday to do another show with me. Just talk about what he did, how he did it, why he did it, and just all the problems that can run into running a business like this, because you've got all kinds of hoops you have to jump through for like the not the CDC, but the people that moderate that kind of thing, what goes into skin products or hair products or what people are putting on them or putting in them, or you've got a EPA, I guess it is, or something like that. And so it's all the stuff they have to go through just to bring an item to purchase. So, and I find it fascinating. He's an extremely nice man. And I feel very blessed. I can call him my friend now. And so let me scroll back up here and give a few shout outs of hello. We got Patrick and Kaya, I can't tell if that's an A or an I. Bella Dawn, Jade is here, Juniper Vale, TC, Gordian Knot is here, Mariva is here, hey, Debbie is here. I'm afraid not. I love that name. I'm afraid not. I'm afraid not. It's okay. Depends on how you say that. I like that. Old Windwalker's here. Artist Liz is here. Patrick, I said already. Terry is here. Oxford Cat is here. Keep scrolling, Sherry. Okay, Cynthia and I don't know, a few others. Okay, if I keep doing this, we'll be reading names all night long. So let me go back up again and pull some questions. Is there anything particular you want to start out on for a reading, like something that's happened today, or talk about what Gavin Newsom did today?
I've been camping for 3 days.
You're in the okay, that's good.
And I'm just
cold reading. There you go. All right, let's see. I guess today.
Other than I heard, federal judges are still telling F-45 that no, we're not going to unseal the grand jury thing, but they clapped back at him and said, you have the power to unseal all of the records, so go ahead. So
yeah, well, today
that, because they keep trying to do the jury one, which is nothing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Well, today they're in New Jersey. The judge came back and basically informed the administration that Alina Haba, whatever her name is not an official employee of the government. It does not have jurisdiction to represent anybody for the law in New Jersey. I mean, they came down big time on her. So, and of course, now they're trying to play cleanup, figure out how to get her back in the roster. But
yeah,
I don't think that's going to happen. Gavin Newsom held a news conference today. He signed the special order to put a special vote out for the people in California to vote yes, you can redraw district lines so that we can counteract what Texas is doing. And so that went down today.
Isn't it contingent on if Texas does it? If Texas puts it through, then
signed it
California would?
Yeah, they signed it yesterday, day before yesterday. Texas did. And so they signed it. They got it. They got their everybody had to come back. And so they signed it. But in Texas, they won't let any of the Democratic legislators leave the Texas House unless they sign off a permission slip allowing them to be escorted everywhere they go by law enforcement. And there's one woman who said, no. And she's been living in the state house for like 3 days now.
Yeah.
Today she was doing an interview.
Go
ahead. Say it again.
Sorry, there's
a little lag. Yeah.
Lag time between us for some reason. Sorry about that. So I when they first left, yeah, when they first left, I did a reading on that situation and said if they what came out of the reading was that if they come back, it'll be in such a way that they're held captive in the Capitol until they vote. So basically that's what's happening, or they can leave as long as they allow for the 24-hour
Yeah, they
surveillance
have to
and they're
sign. They
monitoring,
have
make
to
sure they
sign
don't
a
cross state
permission.
lines and all that. So basically that's
Right.
being captive. That one woman is not signing
No.
the paper,
And
and so
today
she has to stay there. But
today she was live on air with a reporter and some of the head honchos from the DNC, the Democratic National Convention. And they were interviewing her and talking about what was going on. And they literally sent the law enforcement or whoever's there to make sure she doesn't do anything she's not supposed to do. Literally came in and told her that no, she couldn't be doing that. She had to get off the interview now. She was breaking a federal law by talking to them. And she's like, because she wasn't on the House floor. And she was like, excuse me, I was told I was either to stay in the House floor or in my office where my bathroom is. And no, she had to hang up now because or else they were going to charge her with federal offense. And so she just turned around and said, okay, guys, you heard them. They're going to charge me with a federal offense if I don't hang up. And she hung up. Oh my God, the whole thing just blew. I thought Cory Booker was going to go explode. He was so pissed off because he was on the call. Gavin Newsom was on the call. A reporter was on the call. Several other talking heads were on the call. Then President Obama got into it. It was like, holy crap, man. They're rocking boats that they don't want to rock, you know. They're gonna regret that. And so Gavin Newsom had his press conference today. He signed his paper.
oh, it's going to come back and bite them.
Oh, big time, because now that Newsom has done his bit, Texas has signed off. There's like 5 or 6 other Democratic governors are all like, yeah, hold my beer. We're next. So, and it's not going to be pretty, y'all. It really isn't. Yep. All right, I'm trying to catch up on questions here.
Well, they're doing it to themselves.
Oh yeah, big time. They are cutting off their nose to spite their face, as the saying goes. And who was it? Somebody in here was new. Here it is. May. Hi, Sherry, from LA. Originally from
Donnie's games, F45's games.
My home state. I was born in Lake Charles too, May, so we could be relatives. Who knows? Anyway, I saw Lake Charles and it popped. I was like, oh, that's where I was born. So,
nice.
Patrick, I like that thought. Yeah. She should call the police and file charges against being held against her will. I think it's going to be a lot worse than that, what they wind up doing. I really do. All I know is
she a lawyer? Do you know? I don't know.
I believe so. If most of the women, especially Black women, who are in any legislative position in Texas, pretty much has to be at the top of the top of the top and have all the stuff just to even get their foot in the door, you know, while you got dipshit Harry that just good old boy that slides in. You think what?
Yeah. You would think that she would have like a treasure trove of lawsuits. Maybe she's just waiting and racking them up to throw at them. I don't know.
That's what I'm feeling like. She's ticking off the boxes on her checklist. And
Here's another one. Here's
yeah,
another one.
It's not going to be pretty. So, all right. Let's see. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Oh, yes, she is a lawyer, and she has brought charges already. Oh,
She was
good
threatened
for
with
her.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Which
They're so
charges?
afraid of Jasmine Crockett that they've gotten rid of her district. So she's being gerrymandered out of her district.
Oh,
They're
that's
going
going
to
to
pay
come
for
back
that.
and bite them too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she'll
You
be
know what I think would be really
Yeah.
funny is if when they do the election, if all of these special districts they've created for Republican seats, if they all went to a Democrat.
I know.
That would be awesome.
How about Newsom and Crockett on the presidential ticket? That would be great.
I'd vote for that. Oh yeah, in a heartbeat. So okay. Oh, now she can run for Senate. Okay. All right. Well, let's get going here.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay.
Artist Liz is a member, so she gets to go first. All right. Do you see what's happening with the passing a law or something to allow open carry guns in DC? Oh wow! I didn't know he had done that. Yeah, they're doing everything they can to push the left's buttons to make them go off, so then they can scream martial law and shut everything down. And so far, the left hasn't been playing the game. So,
well, that's doing this thing in DC, because in DC it's not a state, and there's
right.
no government for him to, or governor for him to have to go through or anything. There's a mayor, but big deal, right? So he's trying, that's his testing ground to see how it goes, and then kind of expand out from there. I think he'll there'll probably be a few states he'll do that on. Texas, I'm sure, is one, and there'll be a couple of others that they'll institute at least a temporary martial law, but it's not going to be a nationwide thing. But
well, he tried to do it in California and it didn't work because the people in California just stood back and go, yeah, really? Right. You think? I don't think so.
Yeah, they tried pushing the buttons where I live up in the Northwest too, and it didn't really work. They have an ICE facility set up, but they're not doing what they did before with George Floyd and stuff. Because they brought all kinds of federal troops in for that, and we're committing crime, calling it the locals of so. So which part of this are we reading on? So the open carry or the martial law? Which are we reading on exactly?
Let's well, I kind of when I was thinking in my head, I kind of combined what's going to happen with this law, and will he, let's go with that at first. What's going to happen just kind of generally with passing this law in DC, trying to make the left go berserk and just kind of freak out on them.
That whole energy.
Yeah, just kind of that energy that goes with that, because I got some wild cards with that. I started out with a science breakthrough.
Okay.
So they're just going to be very doesn't necessarily have to be scientific, but they're going to be very, very literal in the law. And then I got mosquito airborne. So they're going to use something along those lines to push things, maybe medically speaking. But I got shifting alliances, because you got a lot of Republicans that are not very happy about this crap right now. They are seeing it for what it is. And then I got true to their word. So they are following through on all of the ridiculous nonsense that he has pushed forward for them. It's not going to be pretty, y'all. Your turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
I ended up doing kind of a whole spread because the story started full. I'll try to do it quick. There's plans and partnerships at play. It's 2 of Cups. So I feel like, that, F-45 and the whole regime, it's like, okay, we got a plan and we're gonna work together to get it done. And they think they're really cool, but what's crossing that is the death card. So death of a plan, I don't think it's going to work out like they think it's going to work out. And then the Foundation, Knight of Wands. So it's going to cause a bunch of chaos. And, they're like, okay, we're taking action, but they're just kind of sitting there and they're not doing anything. They're waiting for the chaos to erupt because that's what they want, right? That they want everybody to get all bananas. And in the past, it's going to keep pushing Mega to the past. They're going bye-bye. Ultimately, they're going to be pushed back in the corner of oblivion where they belong. And so this is my Mega card. Remember when things were great, so this is in the past. And the whole crowning the whole thing is the world. So I really feel like there's global influence in putting it into this regime. There's a global interest in that happening. And this just keeps, it adds the pressure of that. And coming in the future, King of Wands, which, it's fire and it's plans, and he's serious. This is like Gavin Newsom. He's like, really? You want to take me on? Let's go, and he's not having it. And I feel like the whole new up and coming energy is just people are over it, and we're not just not going to do it. We're over it. And then internally, it's like these guys are like, okay, this is our new plan, which kind of, is this in a way too. This is our new plan, but it's ignorance and it's stupidity, quite frankly. In the external energy is F-45 and the whole regime trying to influence all of this. But there's going to be a lot of illumination, a lot of plans come forward, and this plan that they think they're going to enact is not going to work out like they think it is. And ultimately, we're going to be the ones partying. So,
for sure.
That's that was a lot. Sorry, but it all just.
No, that's perfect because it backs up what I pulled on just my crap. I can't think of the name of the damn deck. Predictions deck and my governance deck that I used, which is more like an oracle, so it gives you something you have to kind of think about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's holes missing in this, but then you filled in the holes. So that's what it was needing. And then I looked at this while you were.
That's why we work well together.
Reading. Yeah. So we were connecting there. And so while you were reading, I said, okay, let me throw a few cards on the rest of this of pushing us into martial law. And the first thing I got was the 4 of Cups. This is the reaction that they're getting from most of the left because we've realized that they're trying to push our buttons and make us go a little wonky with it. And we're kicked back under the tree going, okay, yeah, what's next? Go ahead. What else you got? What's next? And then I got the Queen of Pentacles. So she's back there just saying, yeah, guys, just chill. Let them hang themselves. Let them do all the work. We'll just tidy up the mess when they're done screwing everything up. And then I got the Death card. Same card you got. So, it's like, yeah, it's
same. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So it ended up with death. It's like, okay, yeah, it's clearing out the old so we can bring in the new. And I like that thought a lot. So,
Old Windwalker, you had said there were no federal troops for George Floyd. It did give warnings for what to look for with protests, as cops were at least 50% responsible for unrest. Suggestions it was a cop that threw the first rock. Where I live, they did have federal troops. They did. He sent in, we just called them the goons. He sent different areas, and the people were protesting. We had Wall of Moms. Yeah, and they sent them at, literally it was Wall of Moms. There were a bunch of moms that we were standing up because it was like, you're doing this to our babies and back off, and peaceful. And they sent in the goons directly to attack literally the Wall of Moms.
Yeah.
And they were coming in. The protests went so long. In our city, there's a lot of food trucks. And so there a couple of food trucks came out like, hey, we'll feed you and hydrate you while you're doing this. They came and attacked the food truck owners, towed away their trucks, damaged their vehicle. They came in, they would deliberately smash up windows and tires, and they said it was the protesters doing it, but it was always these guys in the vans, or the black vans, and they'd come up, they'd grab people, they'd drive off. We didn't know where they were going. And those were F-45's federal goons, just like the ICE people today. So we were his practice point for what he's doing now.
Exactly. I like Debbie says, we now have the real plague in America.
I drew. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Seriously. I drew 3 more cards on the martial law thing, and I came up with the Magician and the Devil and the 9 of Swords. Yeah, they're going to do everything they can to keep pushing our buttons and try to make this happen, because it's evil energy and it's a nightmare situation. I mean, yeah, they're going to try. They're try really hard.
Rose said the Gazpacho boys.
Boys.
was that Bobert, or was that Marjorie that was trying to say Gestapo, and she kept calling them the Gazpacho? It's like, that's a food. It's not a. I swear, it's like, where do they find these people?
Isn't that a soup?
How do they find these people? How do these people get elected and put into office that are dumber than my big toe? I mean, it's like my kitten has more brains than they do. All right. Old Windwalker.
Well, you weren't willing to do the dirty with F-45, apparently.
Ugh. I actually did a remote view. Didn't realize that that's what I was going to be doing. I was just trying to read his energy, and I wound up remote viewing, going into his brain. It was like, that was the scariest thing I have ever experienced in my life. It was like, oh my God, get me out of here. I was like, I couldn't get out of his head quick enough. And he's not as stupid as people think. But he's not intelligent in the way most people are intelligent.
Well,
he's
right.
he's just
he's a
evil
narcissist.
through and through.
It's a different
Yeah.
flavor. I did a video called what is it? Rapeberry's Moon, where I did a lot of channeling, and I my phone as I was channeling, so I didn't have to try to write it down because I never remember anything when I'm in that zone. And I got into him, and what I saw, they showed me is he was like this block, like a play school toy block, you know, and his people were pushing him across the stage like an old wooden stage, like from 1700s,
Yeah.
and he wasn't moving. They were just pushing him along. He refused to look at the people in the audience, and I forced him to look, and I did. He was just black inside, but his face was just full of fury and rage. He's dead inside, and just that's all he has is his fury and his rage. They just kept pushing him until he fell off the edge. Like, that's interesting.
I agree with that. Yeah, that was. I mean, I could taste the crazy in him when I went down into his head. It was like, and I was with Nath. It was Nath and I. We get together twice a month. Once on my channel, we do a live, and then on his channel, we do a deep dive on one or two topics. And we were doing a deep dive on the current White House occupant. And he says, well, why don't you see what you can see in his head? See if you can get in there. I thought, okay, I'll give it a shot. And whoa.
Don't do it.
And he's like, yeah, don't ever let me do that again. I told him, I said, don't do that to me again. I said, no.
It's not good.
This was horrible. But yeah, there's a lot of people in the chat that commented on that episode.
It's disgusting. It really is.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Absolutely.
Normally when I tap into his energy from afar, because I try not to go too far because it's just gross. But he looks like, I wasn't
intending to go in.
That rolls across the ground. It's not solid, but it's not liquid, and it just rolls along, but it kills everything it touches. And that's his energy to me. It's like, oh yeah, it's just awful.
There is so much.
Okay, court system.
There is so much hatred and the level of hatred and fear in him for other people that it's like, I don't know how he even functions living in that level of hate and that level of fear mixed together.
That's his name.
Yes, I was, Cynthia. There's several people who are like, I remember that. Because I came out of it going, oh my God, get me away. Oh my goodness.
It makes me feel sick. It's so gross.
Okay.
I've got my card. Do you want me to start?
Go ahead. Yeah. Go.
Okay. So just regarding the court system, basically in general. So right now they're all paid and bought off and all of that. So they're waiting for their harvest to come in, the fruit of their labor. They expect everything essentially to go their way. And then, that's the core here. However, crossing that energy is the Ten of Swords. It's not going to work out well for them. So yeah, there are a lot of judges that are going to go bye-bye, that once we wipe out the regime, it'll take some time because it'll be done through the actual legal process, which does take time. But those that have had illicit or illegal dealings, or were bought off, or maybe are in some certain Epstein files, things like that, those are it's not going to go their way. And there's a lot of illusion and delusion that's going to be, put out there of, it's a witch hunt, blah, 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 Seven of Cups. So that's the foundation here. They're going to go through a heck of a battle. And they're holding tight to, they still got one wand. They're going to keep trying to win. They're going to keep trying to fight it. But this is in the past. It's not going to, I don't think it's going to work out well for them. And crowning it as Page of Cups. These are new emotions for the American people. We haven't really had to do this like this before. And we're not quite sure what to do with it or how to deal with it. And we're going to be honestly figuring this out as we go along. The court systems are, the political systems are, the people are, all of that. But ultimately, Three of Swords, you're going to have some treason and heartbreak going on. I do feel like there are going to be some treason charges against several of the regime. So yeah, this is what's coming in the future. Some decisions need to be made as far as how do we handle this? Who do we throw into the bus? Who do we expose? Who do we not? I don't feel like everyone will get caught, but I do feel like there will be a good number of them that will. And there's a lot of conflict brewing as a result. The megas are going to try really, really hard. Here they are again, to throw out the greatest fears, the hits that won't stop giving in the mega world. They're going to keep trying to throw out the greatest fears and get everybody's emotions going. But everybody else are just hoping that they just, we're tired of it. We're exhausted. And ultimately, I think the people are going to stand, and we're going to be pretty happy with wiping out the regime and starting anew. And I've said it several times before. I think we're looking at US 2.0, and that's what it's going to take, because we're going to have to gut everything and rebuild everything. All those cracks that have now been exposed.
Oh, yeah. That's the one good thing he's done for us, is to show us where all the leaks are. Well, as most of y'all know, I do a daily political energy reading on my lunch break.
That literally is his purpose.
Yeah. I call it lunch break musings.
Yep.
All last week, every day I drew cards, I got the King of Pentacles. This is the current occupant of the White House right here. He thinks that he is on the golden throne and all the money is supposed to come to him, and he has absolute say. This is him. But look who's knocking at his door. We've got Madam Justice there saying, hello, excuse me, you've broken the law. Now it's my turn. He's not going to like the outcome. Then I pull the Nine of Wands, because in the meantime, the rest of us are all falling on our face, exhausted because of all the battles that we've been through. We're kind of catching our breath right now before the next one hits. It just means that the battles are ending one at a time, but the war is not over. We still got more fighting to do. And I did a reading for the other night, and it kept coming out civil war. And I was like, I don't want to have a civil war, but that's what I kept getting. Also got relentless determination. He doesn't have any other modus operandi except to go forward. He gets it in his head, and that's it. I mean, we've seen him retell the same lie over and over and over again that's even been pointed out to him that it's a lie. And it's like talking to the wall. It's in his head. That's it. And then I got unresolvable differences. So this is telling me, this is pointing me towards more civil war. Because people are not happy and neither side is going to be willing to give up in the beginning. I'm hoping it's not a messy civil war. Hopefully we can leave it at just verbal and not actual fisticuffs, we'll see what happens. But I think as long as we
Sitting Bull told me something about that.
Oh, okay. What did he have to say?
Did you hear that? Sorry. There's light.
You froze up on me.
So he came when he first came to me. That was his message. Is that we're so when he first came to me, that was his message that we're going to have. And I can't remember the exact wording, but it was something along. We're going to have a non-war war. In other words, or non-war civil war, non-weapon civil war. So in other words, yes, in effect, we'll be in a civil war, but we're not going to actually pick up QQs. So that's good. But we we are over it. And it's basically good versus evil, So, but no pew-pews.
Yay. All right, let's see. Kaya asked, do you see more election information being released soon? Yes. Let's see what else they say.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be the solution to our problem. The more information that comes out, the better we are for it. And it's going to be a cyber attack. It's going to be fighting through the cyber, through the networks, through the internets, as Bush W used to call it. But yeah, I see with these two, it's going to get pretty rough, but it's not going to get bloody. But I definitely see more. They're getting ready for another big drop of information to come out. I just don't know when. Go when you're ready.
Okay. I'm sorry. There's a lot of lag.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry,
okay,
y'all.
Yeah, again,
the connection is not good. There we go. Okay.
Yeah. So the magician came up. Again, they're going to try to wield everything they can to stop it from happening. But it's gonna come through, and it's a high emotion. Ace of Cups. It is a high emotion thing. Obviously, it's going to get everybody amped up, and it's yeah, that's it's going to send everybody over there. If you've been sitting on the sidelines, once Election Truth Alliance comes out with all of their facts and they go to court and court grants recounts, and as soon as the first recount in September happens, that it's going to be like a domino thing, and it's going to be, people are just going to go absolutely bananas. The Ace of Cups. This is a battle they don't want. Again, this came at 9 of Wands, so a battle they don't want, and they're not going to fare very well with it. The time of them reaping their harvest is going bye-bye. This is in the past. A lot of illumination is coming out. So this is yes, there's a whole bunch of information that's getting ready to come out, and they're going to shine a light on the snake, shine a light on the evil deeds, the hermit. So definitely happens. Once that happens, there's some decisions that need to be made of how exactly are we going to handle this, because this hasn't been done, or we haven't been blatantly attacked like this before, that we've been able to catch it. So now we're like, okay, how are we going to handle this? A lot of illusion with the moon. So, if you look at the moon card, especially in this deck, you have the dog, and the wolf. One is free, but is it? The wolf is free, but yet it has to hunt for its food. The dog is tame, but yet it's you can't take care of it. The crab is free, but yet it's stuck in chains and being pulled up out of the ocean where it's not free. The moon is free, but yet it's contained in the globe where it's not free. So there's a lot of, you think you're free, but you're not free, right? We think we have election choice, but we haven't had election choice. And that's what's the external influence going on when all of this information comes out and we start shining a light on the snake. And it's going to come hard and fast. Once the first domino falls, it's going to go boom, 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 boom. It's going to come out really fast. And then at that point, we start looking at US 2.0. What exactly do we want this country to look like? Because we've never been a country full of true equity. We've never been a country of true choice. We've never been a country where we've been absolutely free, even though that's the marketing message. So what do we want it to look like? And let's codify all those things. So, yep.
Absolutely. All right. Next up, Steve asked, will J.D. Vance get a divorce? That's a pendulum question here. So let's see what we get. Will J.D. Vance get a divorce? Will J.D. Vance get a divorce? Yes. According to my pendulum, yes.
I'm going to pull my Dowsing. Okay. So first of all, let me just say that Usha, for those that don't know, she was clerk to 2 of the Supreme Court justices. So throwing that out there in case you didn't know that. And then, magically, JD gets thrown in as an option, right? She likes the convenience. She likes the money. So when convenience and the money starts going away, my guess is she's going to say goodbye. But let's see what the Dowsing rods say. So, hey guys, is he going to end up getting a divorce from Usha? That is their yes. So yes, it is. Yes, he is. Once she no longer has all of her money and her convenience, then bye-bye.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here's a good question. With AI taking jobs, how will Social Security be replenished? Will it survive?
Okay. Do you want to know my intuitive answer or what the cards say, or both?
Whichever one you want to say.
Well, I'll pull cards on it too, but I think it will survive. I think it'll be remade into something, it'll be remade into something a little bit different. It will survive, but differently is what I think will happen. But we'll pull cards on it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Social Security does have money. The problem is Congress keeps stealing from it and they never pay it back.
Right.
Specifically, the Republicans, whenever
Right
they're
now,
in office, keep stealing from it.
I think Congress owes like
back, we'd be fine.
I think Congress owes close to what, $2 trillion to Social Security, that it is used on all of these wars and all of these discretionary funds that they can't get money for, so they take it out of Social Security. I mean, if they just remove the cap on Social Security and everybody paid in all of their income they paid on it, it wouldn't be an issue for the next 500 years. I mean, it would just be dealt with, you know. Go when you're ready.
Be nice if the people could sue them for damages. Okay. I've got my cards. You want me to read?
Yeah, go ahead and go.
Okay. Well, the Hangman came jumping out. So everything's being turned upside down and it's being crossed by the devil. Right? So just like what we're talking about, they keep stealing our money. This is our money. They keep stealing it. And they don't really have a problem with stealing it and then blaming the people, right? That's classic narcissist trick. The foundation, though, I think when we go to remake who we are, right? The 2.0, when everything gets looked at with a fresh, clean eye, there's going to be some truth bombs coming out, and it's going to cause a bunch of chaos. The truth always causes chaos. So this is a Queen of Swords. The Queen is very nurturing. She takes care of her people. She takes care of what's important to her. She's created this world, holding the sword, which, you know, is all. I know people call the Ace of Swords a sword of truth. I think every sword has an element of sword of truth in it. But when she wields that sword, it causes chaos. There's 5 doves, but 5 is chaos. And every time you swing it, the birds go flying around, right? So there's going to be some truth bombs that are dropped and when they go to really look into this and go, hey, just like what we were saying, Social Security isn't the problem. Stealing from it is a problem, but it's going to be in dire straits to such a degree. They're going to have to remake it and redo it into something new, and which is going to make everybody very emotional, of course. But they're going to need to charge forth and figure this out, because this is one thing that everybody, both sides of the aisle, are passionate about, whether you're Republican or Democrat. Everybody wants their Social Security. So they're going to need to figure this out. But justice is going to be at hand. So I think that's good. I think ultimately with whatever it is that they figure out, whatever this new plan is, it'll be good and will kind of bring everything back into balance. And the people that you know, it's really for those of us who actually work for a living. That's who it's for. The billionaires or whatever, they don't need it. It's those of us that work and need that Social Security for part of our retirement. And so we'll feel like, okay, we can continue to work again and still work towards our retirement again, because justice will be back at hand. And then, right now, everybody's feeling like I'm hosed because they're going to take my Social Security away, and I've been paying into it my whole career, and I'm going to be hosed. So this is the 5 of Pentacles, where we're like, give me my Social Security. If you take it from me, you better pay me what I paid into it, right? The external influence on 2 of Swords. I call her, even though this isn't justice, I call her the blind justice card, because the sword of truth is going to fall wherever it lies. So it's blindly dropping those swords wherever they land. So there's going to be people that are going to be, and Congress, one of them, that be like, hey, stop stealing from the coffers. And this needs to happen, whether you like it or not. The people need their Social Security, whether you like this or not. So figure it out. And then the new plan, Ace of Wands, there's going to be that new plan, right? That's going to count. And the Knight of Swords. So this is, with the Knight of Swords, the Knights are actions cards. He's holding the sword of truth, and I call this the American Eagle. Once he leaps off that cliff, there's no turning back. This is the final outcome, but it's following, the new plan, essentially. So it's got to happen. I feel like there's going to be some pain involved, and not everybody is going to be happy, but it is going to be a basically equitable solution to at least give people some of their retirement, that we've paid into it. I feel like it's not going to be exactly what we thought it was going to be. It's going to be a new thing, but it'll work out.
Agreed. The first card I got, you said falling off the cliff, jumping off the cliff, whatever. I got the Fool walking off the cliff. So he's just tripping right along, not paying any attention. And then I got the Five of Wands.
And he's got new plans too.
Yeah. And then I got the Five of Wands. So chaos, fighting it out. So again, this is us. Put up your dukes. We're going to fight. But then I end up with the Nine of Cups. And so in the end, once they get it straightened out, once they get the money back in it that's been removed from it, and they start doing things to make it last and do what it was designed to do. It doesn't do what it's designed to do because they've been fucking with it for 70 years, 75 years, however long it is since FDR put it in, trying to figure out how the hell to get the money out of it. And so because they've been coming at it from all different sides,
took a bunch out.
It doesn't work. I mean, it doesn't work the way it's supposed to work because the right has consistently been fighting to kill it. And I mean, and that's been their standard operating procedure for everything that has anything to do with government, except for the money going into their pocket. It's been, my cat is having a fit over there. I don't know what's going on. It's been their standard to start knocking out all the spokes of the wheel. Well, you knock out enough spokes and the wheel can't turn anymore, And so instead of everything working efficiently and quickly and people are taken care of and things are done, it takes freaking forever to get something done. And you have to jump through all these hoops to get things done. It should not be that way. That's not how the system was designed. But they got to quit letting people sabotage it and steal from it so that it will work right. And oh my God, what is her problem? Okay. Next up. Apologies. My cat is like tripping out over there. All right. We've already been here an hour and 10 minutes. So we got maybe time for one more question. One more good for you?
Okay.
Okay. Let me find a good one here that we can kind of. Oh, thank you, Carrie. That's awfully sweet. Let's go with Rose's question here. I like this. Will the unqualified judges be removed?
That kind of goes in with what we just read on with the other judges, though, right?
Yeah, sort of, kind of. It was like, I think let's. How about not so much? Let's we'll take roses and let's add Marivas to it. Will the judges be outed and will the lawyers be disbarred who have all done this nonsense? Oh, for God's sakes, let her in the room. Holy moly. Thank you, Patrick. Okay, well, we got 5 people just got memberships for a month. Courtesy of Patrick, who did 5 memberships. Thank you so much.
Ooh,
so
yay.
Awesomeness, the Tie-Dye Dawn. I like that name. Laura H. Mangled Unicorn. I was just talking to you in the chat on somebody else's channel earlier. Celeste Jamerson. Welcome. And please send me your email address with your channel name attached so that I can send out Zoom links and stuff when we have meetings. And you'll have your membership for a month. And when a month is almost up, you'll get an email saying if you would like to keep your membership, it'll be a link. You can go in and click in to pay for membership. And if you don't want to renew membership, that's up to everybody. Just ignore it and it'll go away. It'll just expire. So, oh, thank God he finally opened the door. Wow. My. Okay. It's going to be a lot of hard work going into getting rid of the corrupt judges, disbarring the corrupt lawyers, because they're all over the damn place. And so it's not going to happen overnight. But I see a real effort in getting that done. And that's what you're looking at here, just steadily working at it, steadily going. And then I got, what is that? The Queen of Wands reversed. So that's, these people are really selfish and really, they only care about one thing, and that's number one, them and whoever they're following that week. So they're gonna cut off their nose to spite their face. So it's gonna be easy to figure out who they are, simply because they're gonna keep doing stupid stuff. King of Pentacles again. Well, here's the current occupant of the White House, who is bound and determined to get his way no matter what. But in the end, he's going to be out, and so will his judges and his lawyers. They're going to all get booted. Then I got misleading headlines. So be careful what you read. Be careful what you believe. Make sure you do your own due diligence to look things up. Don't believe it because I say it, or because Judy says it, or somebody else says it. Linda G says this, or Mel says that. Look it up yourself. Look it up yourself. That's going to help save us from the misleading headlines. If we know what the facts are, they can't fool us. And it ends with succession plan And it's not gonna. This is what he's aiming for, so that the precious can next be president. It ain't gonna happen. I don't think she wants the job. I think she'll be glad to be free of daddy. And I think when he goes, and I feel like it's not far from now, the whole thing is just going to fall apart, because he's the glue that keeps it all together. Doesn't matter how conservative or how whacked out crazy his followers are that are already in office or aiming for office. When he goes, it's going to all collapse. That's what I keep seeing whenever I've done some predictive stuff to try to see what may be coming up in the next few months. When I see when he's gone, everything falls apart. And the biggest thing that I keep seeing is I don't see him there for Christmas in the White House. It's like it's the White House and it's decorated and there's snow and it's beautiful. Nobody's there. It's like empty. He's not there. None of his people are there. None of his administration is there. It's like they're all gone. And I've been getting that vision since like February, March. Say that again.
We'll be in the process of literally cleaning house.
Quite lit and fumigating in the process.
Yeah. They're going to cause a lot of chaos when they're whether it's willing or not willingly leave, and there may be both. There's going to be a lot of that White House is destroyed. Basically, they're going to have to completely do a move in, move out clean.
Oh yeah, I mean, it took Biden and Jill almost 2 weeks before they could move into the White House behind 45's first go round.
Really?
Because that's how gross it was. And they had to go in and like do super sweeps for bugs that had been placed all over the place, the recording kind, not the creepy crawly kind.
Probably both.
So that, yeah. Get rid of the gold toilet, I mean, just. And now he's plastering his laminated gold foil crap all over the place. It's like, oh my God, even King Louis XIV would be like, dude, that's too much. So, I mean,
Yeah. So I was drawn to pull some from an oracle deck, our oracle deck that I've got, and what came out was intuition. So if you think they smell funny, they do, right? That if you think a judge is probably bad, they probably are, and so those are the ones that are going to be targeted. So, and justice, the justice card. So there will be justice, yes. And a lot of them are going to be disbarred. Some of them will be in prison, and many of them will be fined. So all of the above will happen, and time to let go what no longer serves us, which are all of those judges that are up Congress, and because the election information. There's going to be complicity with many members of Congress, with judges, with the Supreme Court, not only with that, and that's where a lot of the treason charges I think are going to come, but also the Epstein files. Many of them are complicit, and so all that they have to sort through all of it, and they're all gonna be let go basically when justice has its way. And then from the regular deck, I got Queen of Swords again. So the Queen. In fact, I got 2 Queen cards. I got Queen of Swords and Queen of Wands. So yeah, some truth bombs are going to be coming out. It's going to cause chaos. There's going to be new plans afoot, and those that are being targeted are going to want to, try to keep what they've got. But at this point, the US 2.0 is going to be like, tentacles are everything that we use to function within this world, and that includes the law, right? And it includes democracy, and it includes our rights, all of those things. We're going to be assessed, what is it that we have left, and how we, what are we going to do with this? How are we going to build on it? How are we going to remake this? But first we have to assess, what do we even have that's still standing, because so much of it has been gutted. So, and that's when the Queen of Wands is coming in going, all right, let's make a new plan. Let's go. We're going to, let's add some fire to that, and boom, let's do it. So yes, they're going to be let go, disbarred or fined or imprisoned or leave the country. All of those things will happen depending on who it is. And that's all going to be part of the 2.0.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I like what Debbie said. Everyone that a traitor appoints will no longer be legally allowed to remain. Yeah, when they start cleaning house, they're going to really clean house. I mean, it's all going to... Rose Blue says it's going to take tanker trucks of holy water and bales of sage to clean the White House.
Bales of sage. I love it.
Okay, Rose, you won the internet tonight. That's perfect.
I would personally love to volunteer to.
You would say that again?
I want to go in and clear that house of all that energy. I would volunteer my energy.
Oh, I'm sure they're going to have psychics and witches and whatnot galore that's going to go through all of that to clear it all out, just to get rid of all the negative energy. I mean, it's gonna.
You're gonna
ain't gonna be in 1 or 2 people can't do it. It's gonna take a whole team.
Psychic fumigation. I love the bales of sage.
Yeah, I know. I love that. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you, Judy, for coming on. We're going to try to do this like every other week or so. So yay. This is lots of fun. And of course, next week will be Golden Girls. So we'll be with Marina and maybe Cleo. I don't know. We'll have to see. And so but Judy and I will be there. Marina will be there. We'll have fun regardless. So and do some more readings then. And
thanks everybody.
Thank you for coming. Thanks for spending your Thursday night with us. And what?
Yeah, if you haven't checked out my channel, please do. I would appreciate it.
Make sure all of Judy's links are in the description box below. So all you got to do is go down there, click on the link, and go check it out. Make sure you check out Election Truth Alliance in smartelections.us so that you can be up to date on all of the information that they are discovering. They are desperately seeking donations because they're the ones filing the lawsuits, and lawsuits cost money. So if you got $5, $10, throw it their way. They're nonprofit. So none of them make any money off of it. Everything is going back into what they're
Mark
doing.
Elias.
Mark Elias, what?
Yeah, Mark Elias with what is he? Now I'm drawing a blank.
Democracy Docket, is that it? No. I
Justice
know.
Matters. That's another one.
Yeah. It's one of them.
Yeah, Mark Elias, good one. He's fighting the good fight.
Yeah. And I like Popak from Midas Touch. Michael Popak. He's really good. He knows his stuff. I like him.
Legal AF.
Yeah. Legal aid. And if you want more information with that, you can go to their Substack. They post everything, dockets, legal papers, everything that they talk about on the website. It's posted on their Substack. So they post up everything so you can follow right along. So thank you, Judy, for suggesting that we do this. This was her idea. And I was like, yeah, it sounds like fun. Let's do it. Yes. So
thank you very much for indulging me.
We'll both be back. You'll see us in and out. I'll be on tomorrow night, members only live stream tomorrow night, and Saturday night is a slumber party. Y'all know how that goes. So and I'll have Bobby with me Saturday night. So that'll be fun. And we're going to talk new moon stuff. So,
nice.
I think that's it. Okay. So goodbye, farewell, Auf Wiedersehen, all that good stuff. Have a wonderful evening.
All right. Bye.
Bye.